Hey y'all, this is Jillian from Maxine Makes Magic. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are ready to shrink down to the size of a toy this week because we are headed over to Disney's Hollywood Studios to check out Woody's Lunchbox for my Disney Dining Menu Ranking Challenge. I grabbed one of my favorite toys to talk about this amazing quick service dining location utilizing my Disney Dining Menu Ranking Challenge. Now, this challenge is devised of 5 pieces of criteria to determine if Woody's Lunchbox is worth your hard-earned time and money when you go to the parks with your travel party. Because let's face it, nothing ruins a vacation than trying food and paying for food that you do not like. So this ranking series is to help you determine what works best for you. The 5 pieces of criteria that we're going to review today include location in the park, location theming, food variety, cost, and my favorite category, food theming. I have my trusty iPad ready to go. Dumbo is helping me out today, and we can jump right into location in the park. I will pop up the park map so you guys can also follow along. But for location in the park, the thing we're looking at is the location well trafficked? Is it easily accessible? Is it open year round? Is it something you're not gonna have a hard time finding when you are on your vacation? Now, Toy Story Land is tucked in the very back of the park, but it is probably the busiest part of the park. I think outside of maybe Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, I still think Toy Story Land is really what a lot of people go to Hollywood Studios for. So as you enter and go down Hollywood Boulevard, you'll see the Chinese Theater, which houses Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. You either can go all the way to the left towards Commissary Lane through Grand Avenue where Muppets Vision 3D is. Go through Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You can go to Toy Story Land. The easier way to go is to go around the Chinese Theater, walk past Pixar Plaza, and then head towards Toy Story Land. And it's gonna be right in kind of the heart of the land. Woody's Lunchbox is right across from Alien Swirling Saucers and Slinky Dog Dash, but right next to Toy Story Mania. So it really is in the heart of the land. There are only 2 dining locations in Toy Story Land. One is Roundup Rodeo Barbecue, which is a sit-down dining experience, whereas this is our quick service location in Toy Story Land, and it is incredibly popular. This is an easy pass. Most of these locations I feel like I review are easy passes for the most part when it comes to location in the park. Disney's gonna go out of their way to gear you towards your dining locations or your merchandising locations. They already have you in the park. They know you're gonna ride rides. How else can they continue to build the experience, bring in some additional money? Usually that's gonna be through dining and merchandising. So with that being said, this is an easy pass for number 1 criteria of the Disney Dining Menu Ranking Challenge. So let's move over to location theming. For location theming, we are looking out, is it a standout location outside of food? Does it have a good atmosphere, a picture backdrop worthy location? Is it good for your Instagram videos, your TikTok videos, your YouTube videos, all the above, or just in general if you're into food photography? Now, since opening in 2018, this is essentially themed to Andy's Lunchbox being turned onto its side into a walk-up window. There are so many fun theming elements if you really take the time to sit down and look at the marquee of the quick service. There's a giant thermos with a bunch of different characters from the Toy Story universe that is keeping the lunchbox tipped up. You've got celery sticks and carrot sticks, these really cute animal crackers, Baby Bell cheese, which is a sponsor of this location to my knowledge, juice boxes that all surround the walk-up window, which makes it such a fun theme that you really have to look for it. I think when you're so overwhelmed in a land like this, because there's so much going on, there's so much color, you have to kind of take a step back and look at the location to really get that theming and understand the story. And I think Disney does a great job of portraying the story in this case. Now, one beef I have with this land is there is never seating, ever. That is the one problem I have with this location, this land. There is nowhere to sit, and it's so open air. There's no shade. It gets so hot back here. So a lot of folks really struggle with that. And I think it's something that could cause people to overlook Woody's lunchbox. They don't know what's there because they want to get away from the sun, somewhere where there is AC. And there are other locations within Hollywood Studios where you could go indoors. Now, with that being said, I know that Disney is working on expanding their seating. One thing we know about Disney is that opening dates are always a shifting target. You never necessarily can trust that something is going to open when Disney says it is, but you can definitely count on the fact that when things are supposed to close for refurbishment or indefinitely or forever, it will close. As of December 9th, when it was supposed to reopen seating, the seating area is not open. There is additional seating, but there's not the new seating that's been promised, and it is now December 14th and no new news. So that is the only real knock I have for this location when it comes to theming. Location theming is a pass for Woody's Lunchbox. Moving on to food variety. When we talk about food variety, we are looking at, are there sweet and savory options, plant-based, vegetarian, snacks and entrees. And guys, I love this menu. My inner child loves this menu because I feel like it takes all the things that a kid loves and slightly elevates them just enough that kids will still like them and adults will be able to reminisce in their childhood about all those fun things that your parents, grandparents, caretakers would put in your lunchbox. This location does serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so it is open pretty much all day. And there, I would say, is a nice variety of options here. We'll kind of talk a little bit about breakfast and then go into lunch and dinner. I'm not as big of a breakfast girl because I'm pretty much just a Mickey Waffles girl. I don't do eggs and all that kind of stuff. So for me, breakfast is more my husband's thing. But they do have a nice variety here for breakfast. Their specialty items are breakfast bowls for both adults and kids. It says it's a hearty portion of potato barrels, which are just tater tots. So potato barrels smothered in smoked brisket country gravy, delicious, scrambled eggs, and a sprinkling of green onions. So you have a pretty nice breakfast option. From there, everything else though is lunch. So let's talk a little bit about the lunch and dinner options. For entrees, they have a barbecue brisket melt, which I think honestly, again, is like an elevated kid sandwich. It's definitely probably not something I'd have in my lunchbox when I was younger, but it sounds amazing. It's smoked brisket with pickles, tangy barbecue sauce, melted cheddar, Monterey Jack on a grilled sourdough bread. Sounds amazing. They have a 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwich, a smoked turkey sandwich, which is just like what it sounds, but you would have a turkey sandwich in your lunchbox. So the fact that they're like adding an elevated one in here with, you know, a really nice turkey breast, lettuce, tomato. It says Dijonnaise. I've never heard it pronounced that way before, or never even seen that word before. So we're gonna pretend like I pronounced it correctly. Served on chilled multi-grain bread, or served chilled on multi-grain bread. So a nice cool option if you need one. But one of the biggest things here that they have are their tachos. They are loaded potato barrels, or again, tater tots, with beef and bean chili, shredded cheese, signature queso, tomatoes, corn chips, finished off with sour cream and a sprinkling of green onion. Now, when I went last time, I was not able to try these. My husband and I were way too full from the breakfast that we had earlier that day. So as a result of that, we did not try them, but I have heard very good things about these tachos. And again, I think it's just a fun, elevated play on the lunchbox theme. The good thing though, when we're talking about food variety, is they also have 2 plant-based options. They've got the tachos with chili and cheese, which are gonna be plant-based, green onions, corn chips over the potato barrels, which are obviously vegetarian, and toasted cheddar sandwich, a plant-based cheddar on a toasted sourdough bread. I love that. I think that is absolutely amazing that they have 2 plant-based options at a quick service location in one of the, if not the most popular areas of the park. We love to see it. In addition to that, they've got some really great sides here. You can get the potato barrels as a side. They've got Mandarin Cuties, which I think is fun with the lunchbox theme. Of course, mini Baby Bell cheeses, duh, totally makes sense. A tomato basil soup, which I heard goes really nicely with the grilled cheese. And you can get sides of cheese sauce here, which Hollywood Studios has a thing about cheese sauce. Backlot Express, which I really want to review here soon because it's just chef's kiss. Spoiler alert, it probably will pass this challenge, but I really want to review that soon. Also has cheese sauce. It's just so popular in this park, and I love that we have the option to give it a try. But here, they do have a frozen Mystic Portal Punch, which is Powerade Mountain Berry Blast with flavors of lemon lime and tangerine. And they have an ice cream float, a root beer float. So pretty standard. They have your typical coffees, teas, milks. This is a good location if you need milk for your kiddos. Keep that in mind if you're trying to put them down for a nap. They have milk here. Learned that on my last trip with my niece, that milk is very important for little ones when they are on vacation for their nap time. There's also beverages with alcohol. They've got a grown-ups lemonade, cherry vodka, Minute Maid lemonade, and black cherry puree, which actually sounds really good. Two different beers, 1 hard cider, and then again, like I mentioned in my Harambe Market video, if you haven't watched that yet, they do break down your gluten and wheat allergy friendly options, your egg friendly options, fish and shellfish allergy friendly, milk allergy, peanut, tree nut, sesame, soy, so on and so forth. Disney has done an exceptional job of ensuring they break down everything that you can have within your dietary restrictions. So with that being said, I think there is a great amount of sweet and savory options here. I know we didn't talk about sweet, but I promise we will get there. They also have some great entrees, snacks. If you just want tachos, you could definitely split that with 2 people, and plant-based options. So overall, when we're talking about food variety, that is another easy pass for Woody's Lunchbox. Let's go talk about nobody's favorite, cost. This is going to be very quick as always. Cost is a pass. When we look at a quick service location, we're looking about roughly $12 or less that you're spending for yourself when you're looking at a meal. This is broken down to the individual. This is not broken down by like your travel party. You're not gonna be able to get something in Disney for less than that at a quick service location unless you're all splitting something. So just bear that in mind. This is based on the individual. When we're looking at breakfast, if we look at all the menu items and get an average cost, it's $9.88. That's below our $12, easy pass. Surprisingly, the dinner options were even cheaper than the breakfast options because breakfast has those 2 specialty bowls, one for adults, one for kids, and that came out for dinner to $8.71. So easy pass, quick part of the video, great, cost-friendly items. So we can finally move on to part 5, talking about food theming, my favorite, and we can talk about lunchbox tarts. So when we are talking about food theming, we are talking about, are these items destination worthy? Should you go out of your way for them? Do they have character-inspired snacks or exclusive location treats that you cannot find anywhere else? And my friends, this is where the lunchbox tart comes into play. These things are phenomenal. And the thing I will say about this location is what they are really known for are elevated lunchbox fare items. And what is more elevated than a bougie Pop-Tart? I mean, let's face it, that's exactly what these are. They are elevated Pop-Tarts or like toaster strudels. If you are into those and know what those are, I'll post a picture because I'm starting to learn from some of my friends internationally that you guys don't have the same food items we do, which makes sense, but it never occurred to me items y'all don't have. Truly. It blows my mind. So with that being said, let's talk about these lunchbox tarts. These are exclusive to this location. There's always a daily lunchbox tart that is always there. It's usually the raspberry lunchbox tart. This is the one that my husband and I tried, and it was life-changing. It is a raspberry marmalade stuffed pastry coated in strawberry fondant and crispy pearls. And the fondant is not gross. I promise you, it's not like the fondant you would get on a cake. It is not exactly like the icing you would get on a Pop-Tart or like the icing on a toaster strudel. It's kind of in between the two. It's so good. And they're a nice size. For $5, they are a great size. The flavor is amazing. Now, if you like Disney dining, like I do, and you don't really live near the parks or you kind of want to give it a stab at home, I made the raspberry lunchbox tart right here at home. The recipe is live on my channel. It's been live since the summer. So go give it a look. I recreate Disney dining recipes at home here on the channel in addition to these Disney dining menu ranking challenges. So be sure to check that out if you want to try to make the raspberry lunchbox tart at home. Now, they also have holiday exclusive lunchbox tarts. They have a hot chocolate lunchbox tart right now. I know there was a pumpkin one during the October time we were there. We weren't really feeling pumpkin when it was 85 degrees out. It was hot. The raspberry one is really refreshing, but I think as temperatures start to cool down, this hot chocolate lunchbox tart would be chef's kiss, amazing. But in general, that is really what you're going out of your way for in addition to the tachos. Now, I will say, I have seen the international eats at other parks. Disney, when it comes to character themed items here, needs to step up their game. Where are our little green aliens? You could do green army men treats too. I mean, geez, they've got like the mochi overseas that are really cute. I know they've got macarons, which I don't think at this location would necessarily fit, but like you've got the alien swirling saucers like right across the way. There's gotta be a way to incorporate that here. I think it could be done. They do a good job. I know at one point there was a lunchbox tart that had like a purple frosting and like the Luxo ball and stuff like that. But I really do think that's the one element that this lacks. But otherwise, I mean, they've got really, really fun snacks. These are elevated lunchbox items. I know I've said that before, but we're talking about food theming. That is the theme of this place. You're in Woody's lunchbox. You're ordering something from his lunchbox. So I mean, the theming is on point. You gotta try the lunchbox tart and the tachos if you're gonna go. The grilled cheese is very good too. I'll throw that out there. I don't usually talk about souvenir items, but with that being said, there is an alien sipper here, so there is an element of destination worthy elements, but truthfully, that to me, like I'm looking at the food itself as it themed. So with that being said, this is a pass though, because there are destination worthy items. Overall, the premise of the location and the food has a very great theme. So if I'm not mistaken, that means that Woody's Lunchbox passes our Disney Dining Menu Ranking Challenge. Yay! So excited. Congrats, Woody's Lunchbox. You have passed the Disney Dining Menu Ranking Challenge. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video talking all about Toy Story Land, Woody's Lunchbox. If you like videos just like this one, I have a whole series dedicated to Disney Dining Menu Ranking Challenges. If you want to be a part of the discussion and determine which dining location I'm going to review next, head over and give me a follow on Instagram or subscribe right here on YouTube. I do put up polls whenever I'm going to make these videos and ask you guys what types of dining locations you want me to review next. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. It really helps out the channel so I can continue to make videos just like these and we can continue to expand this Disney dining family. As always, this is Jillian from Maxine Makes Magic, and I hope you have a magical day. Bye guys.